Narcissists believe they have you completely under their control. They think you'll remain ensnared in their web, dancing to the tune they play. But did you know there's a powerful move you can use to make them regret their arrogance to the core, an action they never see coming, one that shakes their delusions of omnipotence? Let's uncover this secret. Together, turn the tables, reclaim your control, and make the narcissist face the consequences of their hubris strategy. 1. Be as cold as ice. Picture a narcissist as a cunning parasite feeding off your emotional energy like predators. They thrive on the chaos they create, always lurking, ready to feast on the emotional buffet you unknowingly provide. You are their favorite prey every time you react. Whether with anger, frustration, or sadness, it feeds their twisted ego, reaffirming the control they believe they have. But what if you change the rules of the game? What if you stopped supplying the emotional fuel they crave? This is where a key strategy comes in: becoming cold as ice. Cold doesn't mean being heartless or rude. It's a protective shield against manipulation. It's the art of mastering your emotions, ensuring they aren't exploited or controlled. Think of your emotions as valuable currency, hard-earned and precious. Would you hand them over to a con artist? Of course not. So why waste them on a narcissist who only seeks to exploit and drain you, to inflate their hollow sense of self-worth by emotionally disengaging and refusing to be drawn into their manipulative games? You reclaim control of your life. You cut off the fuel supply. They depend on stripping away their primary weapon. Without your reactions, they are left powerless. This is your first line of defense, not through retaliation or anger, but by preserving your inner peace and asserting your autonomy. You have the right to decide when and with whom you share your emotions. This is a deliberate, strong, and liberating choice in your battle against narcissistic manipulation. Strategy 2. Give them the power of violence. Narcissists demand adoration regardless of how they treat you. They expect you to bow, serve as their doormat, greet them with fake smiles, and obey their every command. But when you refuse to play their game, when you stop responding and deny them their role of puppet master, they unravel. Their fragile ego suffers a severe blow. Narcissists are masters of the silent treatment, but they use it as a weapon to punish and control. Their silence is a psychological game designed to make you feel anxious and desperate for their attention. However, when you turn the tables and give them silence in return, they spiral into panic. Your silence strips them of their power, leaving them helpless and vulnerable. This is when you regain the upper hand. Your silence becomes an impenetrable fortress, preventing them from reading your emotions or predicting your next move. They become confused, like a wild animal cornered. Are you quietly preparing a counterattack? Are you about to expose them for who they really are in the past, when you poured your heart into endless texts or tried to salvage the relationship? They saw it as weakness, a perfect opportunity to manipulate you further. Now faced with your unyielding silence, they feel destabilized, losing their grip on your emotions. Your silence leaves them grasping for attention. They begin to imagine scenarios, convinced you're plotting revenge or planning to betray them, exactly as they would in your position in their distorted world. Everyone is as selfish and deceitful as they are. This is the moment when you reclaim control. Silence isn't just a shield protecting you from harm, it's also a profound wake-up call for the narcissist. It forces them to confront their inner emptiness and loneliness, the very truths they try so hard to bury. That said, remember, the goal of silence isn't to punish, but to free yourself. Don't turn silence into a cold war or a psychological weapon to inflict pain and regain control. That's the narcissist's way, rooted in ego and manipulation. You, with your compassionate heart and noble soul, are above such behavior. Instead, use silence to create space for your own peace, healing, and freedom. By stepping away from their toxic influence, you're choosing to live with integrity and dignity, far removed from Their chaotic world strategy 3. Create distance. To keep them in a controlled state, narcissists tend to swing between two extremes: excessive charm and ruthless aggression. They are like a pendulum swaying from one extreme to the other, keeping you constantly anxious and off balance. To protect yourself and regain control, your goal is to bring that pendulum to a stable neutral state where it doesn't swing too far in either direction. Let me explain why this is so effective. A person's true nature often reveals itself in moments of comfort and familiarity, just as a snail only emerges from its shell when it feels safe. People show their authentic selves when they no longer feel the need for defenses. Narcissists are no different. When a narcissist feels you are too familiar, too easy to manipulate, they let their worst trait surface, becoming aggressive, controlling and manipulative, like a wild animal released from its cage. Conversely, when they are overly charming and attentive, it's often act A, calculated for, designed to gain your trust. Think back to the early stages of your relationship when they showered you with affection and attention. That was their bait, laying the groundwork to manipulate you. To uncover a narcissist's true nature, you need to create distance. This isn't just physical distance, but also emotional and mental detachment. By stepping back, you can observe the bigger picture without being caught in their emotional whirlpool. From this safe vantage point, you can set clear boundaries, non-negotiable red lines they're not allowed to cross. Say no to abuse, disrespect, or controlling behaviors. As I mentioned earlier, narcissists oscillate between extremes, either overly affectionate or overly aggressive. The ideal state is to keep them in a neutral zone, not too hot, not too cold. When they're being excessively sweet, gently push them away. Don't let yourself be drawn into their honeyed words. When they become aggressive, stand your ground and walk away. Show them you will not tolerate disrespect. Under any circumstances, this approach confines the narcissist within a framework where they cannot rely on their usual tactics. To manipulate you, they are forced to behave respectfully, at least outwardly, because their old tricks no longer work. While this controlled behavior may be superficial, it's enough to create the peace and fairness you deserve in their relationship. Remember, you cannot change a narcissist, nor do you need a turbulent relationship. What you need is a peaceful connection where you are respected and treated fairly. Strategy 4. Cut off all contact. After implementing the above strategies, the next step, one I strongly urge you to take, is to completely sever contact with the narcissist. This is not just a necessary action, but a decisive step to free yourself entirely from their toxic influence. Whether the narcissist in your life as a parent, spouse, colleague, friend, or even a child, this step must be carried out firmly. Accept the undeniable truth: narcissists are incredibly resistant to change. And even if they do change, it is a long and arduous process, not something that happens overnight. Maintaining contact will only prolong your pain and inadvertently enable their manipulative behavior. Think of blocking them on every communication platform as an act of liberation. This includes not only social media like Snapchat, Instagram, and YouTube, but also less obvious channels like Spotify, payment apps, or email. Shut every door they might use to re-enter your life. This is not an act of revenge or intended to hurt them. It is simply a way to protect yourself. You must prioritize your inner peace, emotional safety, and personal growth. Cutting off contact is the highest form of self-respect and self-love. This process won't be easy, but once you do it, you'll experience true relief and freedom. You'll no longer obsess over their actions, wonder whether they've moved on, or if they're manipulating someone else deep down. True happiness is something a narcissist will never achieve. Their empty ego drives them to endlessly seek validation, and no one, not even you, can fill that void. Now is the time to reclaim control and rewrite your story, free from the toxic weight they once placed on your shoulders. This step affirms that you are the master of your life, deserving of peace, freedom, and genuine happiness. Strategy 5. Never lower your value by apologizing to anarchist narcissists are masters of emotional manipulation and distorting reality. They make you feel like every problem is your fault, pushing you into situations where you're forced to apologize even when you've done nothing wrong. They turn seemingly simple situations into high-stakes mind games where you're always at a disadvantage. If you've ever found yourself apologizing to a narcissist, you know how unfair it feels. They twist events to make you question yourself, even when facts prove you've done nothing wrong. But remember, in their game, you're not responsible for the pain or conflicts they cause. You are the one who's been hurt, the victim of their toxic tricks and manipulative control, their attempts to blame. You are not signs of strength, but rather reflections of their own insecurities masked by an appearance of confidence. Do not let them pull you down by making you believe you need their forgiveness or approval to validate your worth. Your value does not depend on their recognition, judgment, or blame. You exist independently of their manipulative tactics, and your self-worth should never be diminished by their words or actions. Apologizing to satisfy them only gives them more power to control your emotions and life. Instead, hold on to your self-respect and dignity. Silence can be your greatest ally when they demand an apology. It protects you from their attempts to manipulate and ensures your self-esteem remains intact. Respecting yourself means refusing to let anyone shake your belief in her worth. Never feel obligated to apologize just to maintain a false sense of peace with someone who has no intention of fostering a healthy relationship. Walk away with confidence, leaving behind baseless accusations and unwarranted guilt. Reclaim your strength, knowing you don't need their approval to validate your worth. You are enough as you are, and you deserve relationships that nurture, respect, and uplift you. Strategy 6. Live a happy life without them. Instead of dwelling on the pain they caused, choose to rise stronger and begin building a life that is truly your own. Surround yourself with genuine friends, people who love, value, and appreciate you for who you are without any ulterior motives or selfish agendas. These healthy relationships will give you the strength and confidence to overcome challenging times. Always remember, in the story of your life, you're the main character, the one who decides the plot, not a minor role in the distorted play of someone else's making. Don't let past hurts, shameful memories, or demeaning words weigh you down or hold you back. They do not define you nor do. They have the right to dictate your life. Walk forward with confidence and pride, embracing the joy and freedom. You deserve every step you take, every decision to choose. Happiness is a declaration of your self-worth. Statement that you don't need anyone else to feel complete. Do what genuinely makes you happy. Spend time on meaningful trips with friends, explore new places, and immerse yourself in the wonders of nature. Find joy in the simplest moments, whether watching a thought-provoking film, reading a favorite book, or enjoying quiet time to care for yourself. By focusing on yourself, you'll gradually realize that the narcissist influence was nothing more than toxic lies. Unworthy of your attention. You deserve true joy and shackled freedom, and a healthy love that values and uplifts you instead of manipulating and draining you. Be investing in your own happiness and building a beautiful life. You not only prove that you've moved beyond them, but also send a powerful message. You are deserving of so much more. This isn't just a testament to your growth, but the pinnacle of freedom and fulfillment. When they see your strength, confidence, and radiant smile, they'll realize what they've lost. They won't just regret losing a relationship. They'll mourn the loss of someone truly extraordinary, strong, independent, and more brilliant than ever before. The act that makes a narcissist regret their choices for a lifetime isn't revenge, Norris. It's charming to change them. It's you rising with strength, reclaiming control of your life, and living freely and happily without their influence. What they never anticipated is your ability to break free from the toxic cycle. They created your courage to reject their control and your confidence to find happiness on your Own when you learn to love yourself, build genuine and respectful relationships, and cut off the emotional supply they've always craved. You don't just dismantle their power, you make them realize what they've lost. Their regret doesn't come from pain you've inflicted, but from recognizing that you no longer need them, that they no longer have any hold over your life. The greatest regret for a narcissist isn't losing control, it's losing someone. They can never replace a person who emerges stronger, more independent, and happier than ever. And the best part, you're not doing it for them, you're doing it for yourself. This is the true victory, the freedom you deserve, and the only answer that will leave them regretful for the rest of their lives.